On the time this video releases, Squad Busters should have just gone global officially. And with this, I want to give you guys 10 tips in order to head start your account and make it the best it can be. I've been playing the entire beta and I've almost made it to Royal Road. Now I've just been keeping it due to not having high enough upgrades. And I think I've got a pretty good grasp on how the game works. So without further ado, I might as well get into 10 of the best tips you could have. Not in any specific order, by the way. We're just going to go into the first one, which is about gameplay, which is when you're in a game, you really don't want to be that aggressive. I've seen a lot of people having like the biggest group of like units and basically just get themselves ruined because they just go into a fight, and it's kind of hard to anticipate whether you're going to win a fight. So a lot of the time it is just best to play passive. What I mean by this is often just have like farmer comps or have more support troops than main troops, and like have a good control on like other aspects like turbo, so you have like ways to get away from people while also being good at farming your supplies, because a lot of the time you will end up in the top 5 just from farming because there'll be like 4 dead people. That generally just works best for me. Moving for the second tip, use specific strategies for each modifier. Yeah, this means having to learn the modifiers themselves, but every single game has a different modifier, so it's very important you know what they all do, and then with that you know who's good for them. If it's like a turbo modifier or extra supplies, characters like Chicken and Hog Rider are really good. If you're trying to loot more, like it's Gem Overload or whatever it's called, maybe use someone like Mavis or Greg who can like get the gems from ways where you don't have to fight. If it's something where you do have to fight, like bosses and stuff, maybe pick a bow and Colt and Barbarian and things that have high damage output. Just that general idea. Same with Royal Haunt for like Witch and Bow and characters who can take the ghosts, stuff like that. Moving on to the third tip. If you're going to buy anything from the shop, buy the chest refills. They're the best things to get from the shop. And if you can buy something with that gets you the super with like your gold, like in the daily shop, if it's just like 12 witches and that will get you to 3 stars, I would recommend it if you want to. In the end it is your progression, like you can go for that, but a lot of the time chest refills are going to get you more rewards than anything else that you could buy in the shop for a cheaper price, even though it is randomized, the rewards, because it's from chests. But I will say, if you're going to buy anything from the shop, use code MikaYT. I don't know if everyone knows about this, but I am getting a temporary code for a month. So if anyone uses code MikaYT when buying anything, or just in general, I might have a chance to maybe make it permanent or just like get some money off it. So feed me you poor children and give me money, please. But moving on. Have an idea of what every unit does. This is very similar to what I was on about with the modifiers, but for characters obviously. You should know what a baby character does and what the standard character does, like buff wise. But like the supers and ultimates aren't as important until you're higher up, and you probably won't be needing this guide if you're at that point, because it is kind of like mid-ladder guide. Yeah, if you don't have a character, and you might be saying, why do I need to know what they do if I don't have them? Well, you're going to be facing them, because believe it or not, you don't really have a control on the enemy's comp, so you kind of need to like have an idea of what that troop does. So for example, if you don't know what the witch does, it's a very basic one, but like if you don't know what the witch does, learn it for the normal form, the classic and the baby form, and maybe the super if you really care about that. Moving on, the game progression sets on a set path, and you get a free epic on this set path, because basically it decides to give you a few free units from your chests in order to like, I don't know, give you a head start or early start. And I want to let you know that if you don't connect to Supercell ID, you can actually get only the Barbarian King from a chest in this early progression, and it's very hard to get characters later on. So if you don't connect to Supercell ID, you'll get the Barbarian King, but then once you connect it after you've done that, after you've got it, you get the Archer Queen for free from that. So you basically get 2 epics instead of 1. And then the third epic's like the Witch or something. I can't remember how you get the Witch. I think it's on the like Trophy Road. But yeah, basically free epic, don't connect to your Supercell ID until you've got the Barb King, and you'll get the Barb King for free. Kaboom. And the Barbarian King's really good. I didn't do this sadly, so I don't actually have a Barbarian King. But moving on, focus on fusing your units rather than like trying to get like 10 different groups of like 2 units. Because obviously, if you don't know, the chest price goes up with how many troops are in your deck. So if you want to have like cheap chest costs, you want to be able to just like not have that many troops in your hand. Because if you get fusions, obviously that turns your 2 troops or 3 troops, because you just bought another one, into 1, which cheapens it. And yeah, and the fusion troops are stronger than 3 blown troops as far as I'm aware. So it's very good just to have that many as a fusion. So the next one, don't focus on your win streaks or even necessarily winning. You want to preferably win, but losing still grants a chest which can give just as many rewards as winning. I've had a few games where I've come first, and then I've got a chest with like 6 taps, and I'll get like 2 Gregs, and it'll be kind of like awful, and I'll be like, okay, that's fine I guess, but in the end, losing's fine, because you still get the chest, you just don't get as many taps, but like you could get like 10 barbs from that, hypothetically, if you really like get lucky. Obviously the gems for winning, you'll get more the higher place you get, obviously, but that's not necessarily important, that just upgrades the pass. Once you've got everything, it's literally just getting the megas from the end of the pass, and I don't know if they're going to change that when it goes global, how you get megas at the end, but I think it's kind of just like not that worth, that the gems aren't that important, it's just about winning and placement. And obviously if you play passive, as I was saying earlier, you will probably get top 5, which is a win technically in Squad Busters, for doing nothing. It's very easy, so yeah. Next one is to balance your turbo between aggression, speeding up your attacks and defense. With this, make sure you have at least 1 turbo-based mini on your team, whether this is the Hog Rider, the Chicken, or Max, or someone with speed, because I don't know if they'll release more speed-type units. It's just important to have a general, like, speed unit, and to have control of it. My go-to is kind of a Chicken right now, because the Chicken in its super form gives you 3 boots, which is, like, really a lot of boosts, and I don't have Max unlocked. Hog Rider, I also have level 3, but he's just not as like consistent in my opinion, because you need grass to really optimize his ability, and always having more boots is like really useful. But just make sure you've got enough like speed, because speed is how you get into fights, speed is how you get out of fights, speed is how you loot faster and attack faster. It's really important really. So yeah, another tip. And 2 more tips to go. Don't buy plaza items. There's rumours that they'll add one in the future. That's just a very self-explanatory one. They added a new feature in the mid-beta update, if that's what I should call it, where they added like plaza items, which you can buy with hammers. And with these hammers, you basically put them down on your plaza. But the thing is, you can't see other people's plazas at the moment, and the things that you put down don't actually do anything. But we've heard that they will in the future. So I'm just kind of letting you know to not buy anything at the moment. I won't be. And the final tip of the video, is to know that you don't go into a game with every character unlocked. It shows before you click start and in the plaza who you'll be able to use each game. So say you have like 12 of the 20 characters unlocked that you can use at one stage. I don't know if it is 20. I'm just kind of making that up. And it might not let you play all 12 of the 20 you've got unlocked. It might let you play 8, because it actually is on a randomizer kind of thing, where it'll let you play like 16 characters, and it will cut off certain characters from you being able to play that round. I think it's just to diversify the like game, and make it so you're not just playing the same like Mavis trader comp every single game. But I don't know. I don't really have definitive like reasoning to back that up. So yeah, I think they're the main tips you're going to need to know. For balancing and knowing who's good in the meta, if you want to see that, Make sure to like the video, comment something like letting me know what you want to see next in Squad Busters if you want to see anything like particular. I am planning on also doing a Clash Royale and Clash of Clans video soon, because I think now that I'm kind of like a Super Cell creator rather than a Brawl Stars creator, it's like quite a good opportunity. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Use code MikaYT if you did enjoy. I'm still like shocked that I get to say that, because it's like, kaboom, I actually like have a code. But yeah, I hope this helps someone. I hope that you bust on the squad.